Today's topic is going to center on dating within the black community and why it fails a lot. Some of the reasons why such things fail within the black community is due to attitudes, too much ego, too much, shall we say, nonsense about race, too much animosity, and truthfully, misconceptions that have been implanted into the minds for several generations. Firstly, a lot of the misconceptions revolve around how supposedly a lot of young black men tend to be aggressive, but this is untrue. It has been untrue for several years. And yet, for some unknown reason, it is still perceived as being so, despite all the evidence saying that it is not true. Another problem, as I previously stated, are the attitudes that come up. Specifically, when it comes to compliments and clothing. It is absurd to see how ridiculous some of them act when they are given a compliment and they then take it as an offense. For what reason is it supposed to be taken as offense? That is the part that makes no sense whatsoever. A compliment is meant as a compliment, not as an insult. As far as the race issue goes, there is no real problem with a young black man dating outside of his race. Well, unless he starts becoming interested in Middle Eastern women, then it's a problem. And I say this because of the fact that in the Middle East, they do not like the idea whatsoever of a woman dating outside of her family, not family, but her race, let's just say. They literally hate that. And I've often wondered why is it that they hate the idea of Muslim women not being free to choose. And a lot of it's because they have this Sharia law nonsense where they force the women to adhere to some crazy strict religious, I guess what they consider traditions, one of which is you don't date outside your race because it's dishonorable to the family. That makes no sense. As for the issue of young white women and young black men dating, there should never be any problems there. The only real issue is the fact that there are a lot of young white men who still act stupid about it, even though they know that their daughters and such, they eventually grow to like young black men occasionally. And yet they still cannot stand the idea of a white woman dating a young black man. A lot of these white guys. It's absurd. And as for a lot of young black women, well, they, for some odd reason, tend to see a young black man and a young white woman as essentially traitors to their own people, which is stupid. If a black man chooses to date a white woman, be happy for him. Stop all this nonsense about he's a race traitor and all this garbage. It's absurd and it's stupid. Also, we need to build up the young men in their self-confidence more often. Seriously, this is another thing that has basically distanced them from dating within the black communities, is all this nonsense that they have to deal with. It is really absurd to hear many of these young black women still complain about such a thing when they will go and do the exact same thing as a young black man. And many times they throw young black men away like trash as well, so I don't see why they have to be hypocrites about it. I say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And everyone within the black community knows the truth about it. If you like the video, please comment on it, share it, subscribe to my channel, and also share the video more often. And thank you all for watching. Goodbye and have a great day.